Hey guys, welcome back to Enlightened. It's your host Kev here. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Edda once more, and in today's edition we're going to be taking a look at the Dwarves. Now, you're going to recognise some of these names if anyone's familiar with the work of Tolkien. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. Then spoke Gangleri. What did the Allfather do when Asgard was built? High spoke. In the beginning he established rulers and bade them decide with him the destinies of men and be in charge of all government of the city. This was in the place called Idavol, in the centre of the city. It was their first act to build the temple that their thrones stand in, 12 in addition to the throne that belongs to the Allfather. The building is the best that is built on earth and the biggest. Outside and inside it seems like nothing but gold. This place is called Galadhyaheim. They built another hall. This was the sanctuary that belonged to the goddesses, and it was very beautiful. The building is called Vingolf. The next thing they did was lay forges, and for them they made hammer and tongs and anvil, and with those they made all other tools. After that they worked metal and stone and wood, using so copiously the metal known as gold, that they had all their furniture and utensils of gold, and that age is known as the Golden Age, until it was spoiled by the arrival of women. Apologies to the women out there. They came from Giant Land. Next, the gods took places on their thrones and instituted their courts, and discussed where the dwarves had been generated from, in the soil and down in the earth, like maggots in flesh. The dwarves had taken shape first and acquired life in the flesh of Ymir, and were then maggots. But by decision of the gods they became conscious with intelligence, and had the shape of men, though they lived in the earth and in rocks. Modsongnir was the dwarf, and the second was Durin. Thus it says in the Voluspa. Then went all the powers to their judgment seats, most holy gods, and deliberated upon this, that a troop of dwarves should be created from bloody surf and from Blaine's bones. Their man's forms, many were made, dwarves in the earth, as Durin said. And the names of these dwarves, says the prophetess, are these: Nidi, Nordri, Sudri, Ostri, Vestri, Alfhiolf, Dvalin, Na, Nain, Nipping, Dane, Bifor, Bafor, Bombor, Nori, Ori, Onar, Owen, Modvitnir, Vig, Gandalf, Vindalf, Thorin, Fili, Kili, Fundin, Vali, Thror, Throin, Thek, Lit, Vitra, Nira, Nirad, Rek, and Radzin. But these are also dwarves and live in rocks, whereas the previous ones lived in soil, as follows: Drupnir, Dolgvari, Hor, Hugstari, Chlediolf, Glowin, Dori, Ori, Duff, and Dvari, Heptifili, Ha, and Sia. But these came from the Svaringshog to Orvangar or Irovelia, and from them is descendant Lofar. These are their names: Skipper, Vipper, Scafin, Ali, Alf, Ingi, Ikensladi, Fal, Frosty, Finn, and Gina. Some difficult names to say there, sorry if I butchered any of them, guys. So the dwarves are also mentioned in a few other places in the Edda, not just that creation story like I mentioned in a previous video, the dwarves were placed, there was 4 dwarves placed on the 4 corners of the earth. So the dwarves do play a really vital part of the Norse mythology. And there was another reference I've came across, which was regarding Fenris Wolf, which was when the gods were trying to stop Fenris Wolf from getting any bigger and any stronger, for there was a prophecy that the wolf would destroy Odin, which we'll come on to in a later video. And so they made like braces for the wolf, and the wolf broke out of the brace. So they made another brace for the wolf, which was twice as strong as the first one, thinking we're gonna trap the wolf now. Where Fenris had grew in strength and was confident that he'd break out, so he took the challenge on. And the way they lured him in to doing this act was that he would gain great fame if he was able to break out of this contained harness, if you will. So he allows them to do it, and he breaks out of that harness once more. So the gods are like, well, we just tried our best materials and it's not working. So they actually sent a messenger down to the bowels of the earth, where they requested the dwarves to design and build an unbreakable harness, if you will. So when the messenger returns with the harness, which is a material, it's like a silk thread, or like a silk scarf, a long silk scarf. So the wolf, Fenris, is like, well, I'm not going to get any fame if I break out of that. So then the reverse psychology comes in from the gods. They're like, well, if you can't break out of that, then there's no need for us to fear you killing Odin. Fenris then takes the challenge on with one condition, that someone will place the hand in the mouth of the wolf. Obviously all the gods are like, oh no. But there's one god, I won't say his name now because we might come on to him in a later video and discuss this in more depth, but he agrees to put his hand in the wolf's mouth. And I'll leave that story there on a bit of a cliffhanger, but the point I was making there was that the gods actually had to send someone down to the bowels of the earth to see the dwarves to get this raw material and this silk scarf, which was unbreakable apparently. So it shows you the craftsmanship of the dwarves, as I mentioned before, in like Tolkien and stuff like that. So it's amazing when you start to read through these historical texts, how many reference points there is that we see in modern day literature, in cinema, in movies, TV, and pop culture in general really. So there we have it guys. Like I said, I'll probably end up doing multiple videos on the Edda, and that was the dwarves and their origin according to the Norse mythology. And next I think we'll do the elves. So stay tuned. Hope you have a lovely day. Peace.
But that you pulled me through, I give it up to you. I do it